Chinese grocery hauls are insane because they can actually afford food.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button because today we are diving into something mind-blowing. Imagine walking into a grocery store with just $10 and coming out with a full haul of fresh fruit, vegetables, meat and even snacks. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in China, that is just another day at the supermarket. But over in the US, people are struggling to just afford basic groceries. And now, Americans are watching groceries haul videos from China and realizing maybe we have been lied to about who the real third world country is. Today, we are breaking down the biggest culture shocks in Chinese grocery stores, how much food you can get for your money, and why people online are saying we are the third world country. So buckle up because this is about to get real. Let's jump in.
So I've been living in China for almost 6 years now, and what still astonishes me to this day is how much food I can get in the grocery store for just $10. Chinese grocery stores were one of the biggest culture shocks for me when I first moved here. Your experience is very different than in the US. It's usually overflowing with merchandise and people, with sales being broadcasted by megaphones in multiple areas of each department at one time. The smell is different, and it can be a bit overwhelming at first. Eventually, it becomes a part of your normal experience,
catch a whole
like
fish
sitting
in
out
that
and then
motherfucker.
watching an employee butcher your fish, or seeing live frogs in a bag. So I was able to get all of this for 80 yuan, which is $11. If you want to see more about Chinese grocery stores,
Hey, y'all seen that? Y'all seen Shawty get them fresh veggies? Shawty got them fresh fish, scaled it in the goddamn stone it. Hey, man, y'all told me China was bad. Y'all told me China was bad. Hey, if I could get my groceries for $10, give me some communism. We need some communism, all right? If I can get groceries for... Wait, what the fuck we doing here? I mean, hell, we getting our rights stripped away. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got freedom of speech. We ain't got none of this shit. Hell, but at least they ain't got no rights and they grocery $10. Hey, you gonna take my rights anyway, but I gotta pay $500 for the same amount of groceries? Give me some motherfucking communism then. Shit, our politicians are bought off by the corporations. We living in an oligarchy. It might as well be the same thing, but at least I get $10. At least I can eat. At least I can eat. Walmart talking about you gotta pay a subscription to get goddamn self-checkout. Shit. What are we doing here, people? It's just crazy. Like, because they say China's so bad, they're the enemy, but it's like, and we be like, oh, that's just propaganda. Russia has propaganda. China has propaganda. Korea has propaganda. Do we not have the same thing? Like, bruh, our government has surveillance on us. Our government takes our freedom of speech. They want to control the media. We got monopolies. We got all the same shit, if not worse. Because we get taxed out the ass and we got to pay all this money for shit. Like, we are getting so finessed. And that's why they don't want us to know nothing about the rest of the world. I swear, if I didn't have all these dang on kids, I would be in another country. I'd probably be somewhere in Mexico. I don't know. Man, at some point, we got to realize in America, boy, shit got to change because we are getting finessed. $10 for that same little buggy. And that shit was fresh. It's coming straight from the source out there in China. Then it's like, bro, if you put that same buggy in America, that's at least $250. $250. Easy at Kroger. Or we'll say Whole Foods, because that's where our fresh stuff is at, right? Hell, the last time I remember like real, like fresh fish and like lobster and shit being in the goddamn store was back when I was a kid. And they used to have the little lobster tanks at Brooks's and goddamn Walmart and shit. They don't got that no more. So what we paying for? Only thing we paying for is growth hormones and goddamn preservatives and additives and filler foods. Crazy. And so y'all be talking about inflation. Why they not experiencing inflation? We are a global economy at this point. Why are other major superpowers like Russia and China not experiencing inflation either? Why is nobody else's groceries $500?
Thank you for the question. How much does it really cost to live in Guangzhou? Let's break it down today. Come check some prices with me. This is one of my favorite supermarkets. There's so many choices here, and the prices are great when items go on sale. For example, all these breads and baking products are 10 yuan each. Here are some fruits. A box of kiwis is 10 yuan. A box of strawberries is 30 yuan. And here are some mangoes. This one is 8.9 yuan per 500 gram. And here is the vegetable section, 10 yuan for 3 packs. Carrots are 7.9 yuan per pack. These are organic vegetables. As you can see, the price is also low. Right now, $1 is about 7.3 Chinese yuan. And all the prices listed here is the final price. Here is the meat section. These ribs are 14.3 yuan per pack. And some cheaper cuts are only 6 yuan. And some eggs, 10 yuan per box. All these prepackaged steamed food are just 10 yuan each. Here is 1 yuan section, noodles and snacks. Cooking oil, 10 yuan per bottle. Here are more snacks. These cookies and nuts are all 10 yuan per pack. There are just so many and I cannot show all the prices in one video. I would say grocery shopping is affordable. For one person, a month could cost around 400 to 800 yuan. Now let's check some prices in the restaurants. Eating out can be really cheap. A simple meal from a local restaurant costs 10 to 30 yuan. And even at a mid-range restaurant, it's 50 to 100 yuan per person. Public transport is super cheap too. Metro rides are 2 to 8 yuan depending on how far you go, and a monthly metro card is 200 yuan. Buses cost 2 yuan, and Didi, the Chinese Uber, start at 8 yuan. So if you don't pay rent, I would say the living cost can start from 1,500 yuan per person per month. For the rent, it starts from 700 yuan per month depending on where and what kind of place you want to stay. So if you rent, it will be higher, but overall, Guangzhou is very affordable compared to many major cities. Let me know if you have any more questions.
You want to see the prices of the grocery stores in China? Follow me.
5.4 per gallon for milk. Red cabbage, 50 cents. And this lovely pepper is 69 cents. And we have all kinds of fresh eggs such as peacock eggs, ostrich eggs, and soft-shelled turtle eggs. Around $2 per pineapple. Finally, the meat. Less than $4 for fresh beef.
How do you think? Is it cheaper or more expensive than your countries?
This American lady has left a comment on my TikTok saying that please don't judge us for being obese because we cannot afford healthy fruits and vegetables. And I've seen so many Americans leaving comments on Little Red Book complaining about how expensive it is to get groceries in the United States. So I happened to visit this supermarket in an old neighborhood in Beijing, and let's see how much it costs to buy some fresh fruit and vegetables. Well, I want to show you guys something very interesting. This is a decommissioned bus converted into a grocery store. You can find this environmental friendly bus grocery stores in Beijing, and it's very beneficial for the elderly citizens. They can just simply buy fruits and vegetables from this bus without going too far away from their home to go to the supermarket. The kilogram of oranges is 4.99 RMB, which is roughly 70 cents. Hainan pineapple, half a kilogram, is 4.99 RMB, which is also roughly 70 cents. And half kilogram of grapes is 9.8 RMB, 9.9 RMB, which is roughly 1.3 US dollars. And this watermelon is 7.8 RMB for half kilogram, which is roughly 1 US dollar. And this apples from Xinjiang is 3.99 RMB for half kilogram, which is roughly 50 cents. Half kilogram of broccoli is 4.99 RMB, which is 70 cents. cabbage is 0.99 RMB for half kilogram, which is roughly 10 cents. Got 30 eggs for 25 RMB, which is roughly 3.4 US dollars for 30 eggs.
The fresh veg is amazing. It's all out with all different prices. You've got helpers there ready to help you, but wow, it smells fantastic and fresh in here. Now we've come to the noodle pot area. I don't think it's got our favourite one though. Chris is on the hunt. They are Korean though, our favourite ones that we're slightly addicted to. We can't find them, but this is the array of how many different noodles are available. They look phenomenal. They look so cool. I think this might be the one that I'm going to try. I'm going to go with this one. And that's weighing in at 90 pence. Market just keeps on growing. So many different snacks available. It is crazy. And then you come from the snacks right into the suitcases.
We found the Oreos, the Chinese Oreos. Look at them.
There's so many different flavours. You've got your normal up here, then we're going to strawberry, peach, matcha. What's this? Lemon. Oh my goodness, so raspberry, grape and peach. I've never seen so many different flavours of Oreos. Absolutely crazy. We're at the schooling aisle. Scarlett has filled up her exercise book, so we're needing a new exercise book, and there are them in here. So let's check out the stationery for some of our homeschooling stuff that we need to top up. I think that shop has been successful. Are we happy with all of our purchases? Yeah! Yes, we better go and pay. The issue is, I don't know where you go pay. Are we going to be able to find it, or are we on a continuous shopping? Are we just going to continue? We found it. It's fine. Scarlett's found it. Okay, all shopping done, including Easter treats and loads of random stuff and some more homeschooling supplies. That came to about £25.
I've been scrolling Red Note for hours, and the grocery hauls, you guys, this is why they wanted us to hate China. We are the third world country. They can afford food. They can actually afford to buy groceries. Their groceries are cheap. What are we doing here?
Listen, I didn't think that the culture shock of joining Red Note would be watching grocery hauls. Chinese grocery hauls are insane because they can actually afford food. You guys. What one woman... It would have cost me, oh my God. This is so sad. America is, I already knew, but it's like so sad. We're such a sad excuse for our country.
I want to know what else we can compare, because in the UK, for example, if you need to pick up a prescription from the pharmacy after you've been to the doctor, they're a fixed price of £9.90, which is what, about $13, $13. And I just remember here when I went to pick up my prescription, I picked up some tiny little vial of skin cream, and it was $68. It was insane. So maybe we should compile a list of other things besides groceries and just see what they're paying exactly, and see roughly what the percentage of their wage goes towards those items as well.
Alright, let's break this down. People are realizing that grocery shopping in China is insanely cheap compared to the US, and they are not just shocked, they are frustrated. Over the past few weeks, videos have been circulating on TikTok and Red Note showing how much food you can buy in China for just $10 or less. And just say, it's making a lot of Americans question everything. Let's look at some examples. In one viral video, someone in Guizhou did a full grocery haul for 80 yuan, that is around $11, and they walked out with fruits, vegetables, meat, snacks, eggs, and even cooking oil. Just to put this into perspective, in the US, 11 might get you a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, and maybe some eggs if you are lucky. And it's not just one video. More and more people are posting about their grocery shopping experience in China. Here's another example. Bread and baking products, 10 yuan each, that is about 1.37 item dollar. A whole box of kiwis 10 yo again about $1.37. Strawberries a whole box for 13 yuan or around $4.11. Carrots 7.9 yuan, which is just a little over a dollar. Meat, some cheaper cuts go for a low as 6 yuan, that is less than a dollar. At this point, people in the US are looking at these prices and asking, what the hell is going on? And that is where the conversation gets interesting, because the US has always pushed the narrative that China is struggling, that China is some kind of economic disaster where people can barely get by. But these groceries haul videos are providing the opposite. Food is affordable and people are eating well. Now let's compare that to grocery shopping in the US right now. A carton of eggs in the US is heavily over $5 in some places. A bag of grapes $8 to $10. Meat, forget about it. A pack of ribs could be $20 or more. Even basic vegetables like onions, potatoes, and pepper bells have skyrocketed in price. And don't even get started on organic food, because that is an entirely different level of expensive. People are watching these Chinese groceries haul and realizing we are the ones struggling to afford food, and this is why the red nose groceries haul trend has blown up, because now Americans are starting to say, wait a minute, we have been told to hate China but they can actually afford food, meanwhile we are barely scraping by. There was one comment on TikTok that really stood out. A woman from the US said, please don't judge us for being obsessed because we literally cannot afford fresh fruits and vegetables. Think about that for a second. People in one of the richest countries in the world can't afford healthy food. They are stuck buying cheap, processed, unhealthy food because fresh produce is too expensive, and yet in China, people are buying fresh food for dirty chips. So, what is going on? A lot of people are now blaming corporate greed in the US. They are saying that big grocery chains, food suppliers, and even landlords are keeping prices high on purpose. Because let's be real, the price of food has been going up for years, but wages haven't. Meanwhile, in China, people have option. There are government-regulated prices, markets designed for affordability, and even the commissioned buses turned into mobile grocery stores for elderly people who can't travel far. That is another huge difference. In the US, everything is about profit. If you can't afford groceries, that is your problem. But in China, it seems like the focus is more on making sure people have access to affordable essentials. This is where the frustration is really hitting home. People are out watching these videos and realizing that we don't just have a grocery price problem in America. We have a whole system that is designed to keep people struggling. And it's not just about food. Someone else pointed out how in the UK, prescription medication is a fixed price of 9.90 euros, which is about $12 or $13 USD. Meanwhile, in the US, you could walk into a pharmacy and be charged $68 for a tiny vial of skin cream. So now people are wondering, how much are Chinese people paying for things like rent, healthcare, and transportation? Well, guess what? The cost of living in China is also way cheaper in many ways. A simple meal at a local restaurant 10 to 30 yuan, that is a little as $1.37 to $4. Public transportation, metro rides cost between 2 to 8 yuan or 27 cents or to just over a dollar. A monthly metro pass is 200 yuan, which is about $27. Rent starts as low as 700 yuan a month, that is 95 USD. Now, of course, not everything in China is perfect. There are different economic challenges, wages are different, and some cities are way more expensive than others. But what these groceries haul videos are providing is that when it comes to access to food and basic living expenses, China is doing something right. And a lot of Americans don't like what that means. Because if China, a country we have been told to see are struggling, can afford fresh food, affordable rent, and cheap public transport, then what does that say about the state of the US? What does it say when an American working 40 plus hours a week still can't afford groceries, but a foreigner in China can buy a week food for fresh food for $10? It says that the real problem isn't China, it's the US system itself, and that is why these groceries haul videos have gone viral, because people are finally waking up to just how expensive and unsustainable life has become in America. And let's be real, the government and big corporations do not want people to realize this. They don't want people questioning they are struggling when other countries seems to be doing better. So now the big question is, how do we fix this? How do we make food, housing, healthcare, and basic essential affordable again? Because right now, Americans are watching this groceries haul from China and realizing we have been scammed. What do you think? Do you believe groceries prices in America are out of control? Have you ever experienced grocery shopping in another country? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you like this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dive like this. See you in the next one.